Breaking news. The Senate of Nigeria and Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan are in a very big loggerhead at the moment, as the Senate declined Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's request to resume. For her to resume her legislative duties, despite serving her 6-month suspension, the Senate, in a letter by the Acting Clerk, said that Senator Natasha's suspension will continue pending the outcome of the matter at the Court of Appeal. Remember that these people suspend her for 6 months, and the 6-month suspension have ended. She requested from the Senate yesterday that she will be resuming from the office today. And guess what? This resumption has been thwarted. The so-called Nigerian senators has denied Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's resumption till judicial processes are completely observed and the Senate reviews the court pronouncements before they can be able to allow her to resume her work. This National Assembly, na own too much. Now, here is the full details of the letter. The letter read, Clerk to the National Assembly, Federal Republic of Nigeria, 3 Zone PMB, their address then NAS CNA/29/volume 1/41 September 4, 2025. Distinguished Senator Barrister Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, Senator Kogi Central Senatorial District, Suite 205, 2nd floor, New Senate Building, National Assembly Complex, 3 Arms Zone, Gaki, Abuja. Ray, notice of resumption. I am directed to acknowledge the receipt of your letter notifying this office of your intention to resume, citing and other legislative duties in the Senate on the 4th of September 2025, which you claim is the date of expiration of the 6-month suspension imposed on you by the Senate. I am further directed to inform you that your suspension was with effect from the Thursday, 6th March 2025, and draw your attention to the fact that the subject matter of your suspension is presently before the Court of Appeal. The matter therefore remains sub judice, and until the judicial process is concluded and the Senate formally reviews the suspension in the light of the court pronouncement, no administrative action can be taken by this office to facilitate your resumption. You will be duly notified of the Senate decision on the matter as soon as it is resolved. Please accept, distinguished Senator, the assurances of my highest regards. Yaya Danzaria, PhD, SK. That is the clerk to the National Assembly. See, when women talk wahala, if you don't talk, na still wahala. This woman, we all know the story surrounding this suspension. And she equally believed that this suspension was, triggered by her allegations against the Senate President Godswill Akpabio regarding sexual harassment. And another thing is that when she submitted the petition against this man, they now suspended her, recommended by the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions. All these things also stripped her of her salaries and office entitlement. Imagine someone not earning salary, suspension for 6 months. And guess what? Even though that this man was suspended, she did not even neglect her constituency. She's still using her personal money to carry out different projects in her constituency. How many Nigerian senators can do that? How many people can do that you are being suspended of your work and you're still using your money to still do the same work under your constituency without minding that you're not earning any single salary from where you are working from? Honestly, it is really sad though. Why are you people rejecting this particular offer of her to, or the letter for this woman to resume back to the office? My people, it is really sad. I don't want to talk too much regarding this kind of matter because Nigeria is just like a lawless country. Honestly, you people suspended her. If you people want her to apologize, simply stated that she should apologize to people. Then she will apologize. And let you people allow her to resume, resume her work and do the needful for her constituency. For crying out loud. Do you people think that everyone can last forever here on earth? Do you think that you will last forever in that power? You will not. You will not. So guys, kindly watch many people's opinion regarding this particular news. Aisha Yusuf also reacted with other women in Nigerians with good and very quality and very vibrant and bombastic exposition. Guys, don't skip any part of this video. Watch to the very end and feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe.
Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan versus our Senate President Godswill Akpabio still continues. Now, the National Assembly has blocked Natasha'S resumption. That is what we are seeing right now. The 6-month suspension has expired and she's supposed to resume. Now, she has written to the clerk of the Senate, and guess what? The clerk responded, telling her that she can't resume until court says so. After serving 6 months suspension. Oh. Well, let me read this out because Nigeria is very funny. You might be applauding those people who are claiming to be winning right now because you are supporting them. But if Nigeria happen to you, you go not say this country, you get as it be. Let me read out this so that when I go here. Breaking. National Assembly blocks Senator Natasha's resumption. The National Assembly says Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan cannot resume office, despite completing her 6-month suspension. The Kogi Central Senator had written to the National Assembly notifying that her suspension had expired and indicating her desire to return to the Senate. Although the National Assembly is still on recess, the clerk of the National Assembly, in response to her letter, communicated that her suspension, which took effect on March 6, 2025, is still a pending issue in court. According to the letter seen by AIT News, until the judicial process is completed and the Senate reviews the court's pronouncement, no decision can be taken. Part of the letter signed by the acting clerk to the National Assembly, Yaya Danzarian, reads, "The subject matter of your suspension is presently before the Court of Appeal. The matter therefore remains sub judice, and until the judicial process is completed and the Senate formally reviews the suspension in light of the court's pronouncement, no administrative action can be taken by this office to facilitate your resumption. You will be duly notified of the Senate decision on the matter as soon as it is resolved." Senator Natasha had earlier attempted to resume on July 12, following the Federal High Court judgment asking the Senate to review her suspension, but she was denied access into the National Assembly. The Senator and the National Assembly had appealed portions of the judgment, which is currently pending before the Court of Appeal. You see, this is what we are talking about. Now, whenever we are complaining about our judiciary system in this country, it seems like we are fools. You don't know what to do with the talk. It is a judge that ruled this matter, right? But instead of the judge to hit the nail on the head, the judge himself or herself is still beating around the bush. Instead of you to rule that this woman's suspension is over, you are now ruling saying that the Senate should review her suspension, which means you are still giving room for contempt of the court. And that's what prompted the Senate to still drag the matter to the Court of Appeal. That is the problem in this country. Our judicial system is always the problem. Now, a judgment has been passed, and that judgment is even fake, because that man that passed the judgment, or the judge himself, I don't know even whether that judge is a man or being a woman, but to whomever it may concern, that judge is very cunning. That person is very cunning, because this is not judgment. You are ruling and saying that Senate should review her suspension. Do you understand now? Anyways, now you are giving Senate the go-ahead to file contempt and still seeking for appeal somewhere else. I don't know the reason why our judges in this country are also bringing conflict to themselves. Do you understand now? So at the end of the day now, her 6-month suspension has been served. She needs to resume. Now, National Assembly is on holidays. That is the recess. I think this should go on for like 2 months before they will return to Senate sittings. You understand now? So what it means is that Senator Natasha has to be patient until Senate resumes. Do you understand now? All of them are in holidays, enjoy themselves. Most of them are in abroad. I have seen our Senate president dancing in many occasions. I don't know if you want to win a dancing competition line with Ogun State Governor, Governor Adeleke, or Ogun State Governor, where they dance now. So our Senate president has been dancing here and there, enjoying his holidays or recess or whatever until Senate resumes. Do you understand now? So what will happen is very simple. Senator Natasha should be patient. Let the Senate resume so that we go know what thing will be their own reaction. I go to me to the letter. Do you understand now? So what else do you want me to say? The matter is still in court. The clerk of the Senate is still referring to the matter in court. They can't do anything until court gives a clarification. Why are they running to the Court of Appeal? If the first judge that attended this matter hit the hell on the nail, This is how it's supposed to be. This is one thing about Nigeria that always marvels me. I can't fathom the reason why I am even born into this country. Now, every time Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan versus the Senate President and the Senate, I see to say we don't have anything good again to discuss in this country, except from a female senator versus male senator. Those senators, they are not even ashamed of themselves. As if they do not get wife for house.
Hello, everyone. National Assembly blocks Senator Natasha's resumption. The National Assembly says Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan cannot resume office despite completing her 6-month suspension. The Kogi Central Senator had written to the National Assembly notifying that her suspension had expired and indicating her desire to return to the Senate. Although the National Assembly is still on recess, the clerk to the National Assembly, in response to her letter, communicated that her suspension, which took effect on March 6, 2025, is still a pending issue in court. According to the letter sent by AIT News, until the judicial process is completed and the Senate reviews the court's pronouncement, no decision can be taken. I mean, this, as far as I'm concerned, this is a whole lot of foolery. Is that the right word? Is that how to even pronounce it? Like a whole lot of foolishness. How do you hold people captive with this kind of medieval laws that controls, where the Senate says, oh, as long as the matter is in court, you suspended someone, the suspension has lapsed, the matter is in court, you can't bring the person back until it's all resolved up until Supreme Court. Not that so you keep appealing it, and then it's not as if this issue is given an expedited process. For example, on an issue like this, so you treat it the way you also treat a tribunal issue, to say whenever this kind of case comes down to the court, then they must follow this process. They must quickly ensure that this process is followed through for the matter to be completed within that period, so that the person can go back, right? That's what that makes sense. But for you to say that, oh no, as long as the matter is in court, so for the next 10 years, if the matter is in court, no, they're not going to do anything, right? And so, whatever it is, it's every 4 years. They have less than 2 years remaining, but I think it's June. They usually resume by June 2027. This whole thing, will be out, will be over, and stuff like that. So when you see, so this absolutely does not make sense. And then now they're using this legality as part of their, whether Senate rules or whatever. Because I've seen someone that we're having a discussion, was it some few weeks back, and he told me that this was going to be the outcome, that as long as that matter is in case, whether it's in their Senate rules and all of that, that is a very absurd rule. That is a very absurd rule. And if such rule is going to be there, then there has to be a difference and a channel, a speedy channel, where the process has to be followed through, because this is something like it's a bit different. Just like I said earlier, just like you have with the electoral processes and the tribunals don't follow the normal pattern that they follow. That's why before in no time you see a case, you go from this blah 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 blah, it will get to Supreme Court and all of that, whereas you have some cases that are taking 40 years. And so if you're going to put this kind of rule, then there has to be a law that ensures that the Senate does not have the power, whoever is in the leadership of the Senate do not have the power to now use this particular whether rule, whether law, whatever it is that they have, to use it to abuse the office and use it to oppress and suppress people's voices or people's rights or people's whatever. So let me just go back to it. It says, according to the letter sent by AIT News, until the judicial process is completed and the Senate reviews the court's pronouncement, no decision can be taken. Part of the letter, signed by the acting clerk to the National Assembly, Yahaya Danzari, reads, the subject matter of your suspension is presently before the Court of Appeal. The matter therefore remains sub judice, and until the judicial process is completed and the Senate formally reviews the suspension, And in the light of the court's pronouncement, no administrative action can be taken by this office to facilitate your resumption. You will be duly notified of the Senate's decision on the matter as soon as it is resolved. Senator Natasha had earlier attempted to resume on July 12 following the Federal High Court judgment asking the Senate to review her suspension, but she was denied access, to the National Assembly. The Senate and the National Assembly had appealed portions of the judgment. So they appealed portions of the judgment. They didn't appeal the whole judgment. They chose the one they appealed on. And as long as this appeal, and even if you say the fact that there has been a judgment on the case, in a case as sensitive as this, that has time frame, that should suffice. You say, okay, use except if of course while you're going on, the case continues, in court. We can't have a situation whereby some institutions abrogate powers to themselves in a way that oppress other people's fundamental rights. The people of Kogi Central, they do deserve someone that is going to be there speaking for them, ensuring that their affairs are being taken care of. Now you have, for 6 months, they have been denied the constitutional right that they have for representation at the Senate. And then the 6 months is lapsing, and all of these things, are still coming up. The senator and the National Assembly had appealed portions of the judgment, which is currently pending before the Court of Appeal. It's always crazy. The thing is that Akpabio feels, this is the problem of giving small-minded people opportunity. People who ordinarily think never saw themselves going anywhere. When they get there, they now overuse it, because for them, they don't even realize that there is higher that they can be, and so let them do the right thing. There are other things. They feel this is the end of that opportunity, and for people like Akpabio, they feel that's the end of their opportunity for them to oppress and suppress everyone. And they're really oppressing a lot of people, not just, there have been lots of reports of, senators being oppressed. Senators can't speak. We saw the other day, senator coming to talk about, even for you to even have your this thing read, motion read on the floor, you have to bribe with some millions of naira. A lot of people can't talk and all of that. There are a lot of senators who are even going through what Natasha is going to. Some of them was, some of them left. They can't open their mouth and speak. We just have a bunch of cowards that we elect into office. And I think it's very important for even us as a people to begin to look for, people who have courage to be the one to occupy these offices, especially National Assembly and State Houses of Assembly, because they're supposed to stand up to executive. This one that some people feel that they are the only ones that know how to do politics. It is their father's birthright. The rest of us, we don't know how to do politics. I don't want to do the kind of politics you're doing. It doesn't help Nigeria. If I'm going to do politics, I would do a different politics. And yeah, you might not be the one you're used to, but the one you're used to, what value has it brought to Nigeria? This whole oppressive way of not allowing people who are doing the work that they're doing do them, as we have a gang up of incompetent, elected officials ganging up against competent ones. It's just an annoying thing that really needs to stop.